Hello everyone and welcome back to another Fam 2 Cents cooking video, and today we are making a chicken bacon ranch sandwich. Now this has been something that has been on my list of things to make for quite a while, and just haven't found the time to actually sit down and do it, but I finally did, and it turned out amazing, guys. It was so freaking good. I don't know why or how I managed to do that, but I was having some serious Chick-fil-A vibes. And it was pretty good. So I took the meat and I patted it down with some paper towels and got it as dry as I possibly could. As you can see, I'm now seasoning it and just kind of pre-prepping it for the egg mixture and egg and flour dredge or whatever. The seasonings I used is garlic salt, onion powder, cayenne pepper, salt, and pepper. Very easy, very simple. But you guys will see some techniques that I've kind of picked up on that I like to use whenever I'm making something breaded. So, for example, adding the cornstarch to the flour as I'm doing right now. That gives a kind of finer element. I mix some seasoned salt and put some pepper in there. I almost knocked the camera over right there. But yeah, some seasoned salt and some pepper, and I think cayenne in the flour mixture too. Because like I said, I like the meat to be seasoned, and I also like the breading to be seasoned. I like to taste it. So after doing that, one thing you'll see when I grab the eggs is I crack them into a strainer. And the reason that I've started doing this is because whenever I'm beating eggs or whatever, and I'm using them for coating anything, for breading, there's these kind of the more gelatinous part of the eggs or whatever makes it unnecessarily kind of, I guess the word is chunky in some instances. So what I do is I put it in the strainer, and what you do is you scrape your fork or whatever you're using to mix it in the strainer on the bottom of it, and what that'll do is that'll pull down all the yolk part and leave the more gelatinous stuff up top, so you won't have to worry about it. You'll have a much thinner and more consistent egg mixture. Put a little milk in there to help even it out just a little bit more. You don't have to worry about those, that getting in the way, because it's something that bugs me. It may not bug other people, but it does bug me, and it makes kind of flouring and egging things just a little more complicated than it should be. So yeah, so you want to go ahead and egg and flour your chicken. And one thing you guys will notice that I like to do, I think I've mentioned this on a video before, is I'll do this once the first time, and then I'll allow them to sit for maybe 10 or 15 minutes for the actual external breading or whatever to kind of what's the word I'm looking for, it'll set basically, and it'll turn into kind of a pasty consistency, like a really sticky kind of consistency, because you left it out and all the flour has kind of soaked up any leftover moisture from the chicken. And then right before I toss it into the fryer, I'll toss it again in the flour, because now it's like super sticky, and that's how you get a really nice crust on there. That's something that I've picked up that I've been doing lately for breaded chicken or breaded anything really. It's a good way to really get a nice coating on there, and as I showed in a video before, you won't get all the flour just kind of, going off of the whatever it is you're putting into the fryer. When you toss it in there, it'll actually stick and give you a nice decent breading. So you don't have to do it this way. That's the way that I did it, and the results were absolutely worth it. So it's completely up to you if that's what you want to do. So here we're going to go ahead and make the sauce. Nothing super complicated. It's literally just ranch, hot sauce. I put a little cayenne pepper in there and a little regular pepper in there, and that's it. Give it a nice mix, and you got your buffalo ranch sauce, which is something I make for a lot of things. I put this on everything: pizza, french fries, whatever. You can eat this with whatever. It's very simple, nothing too complicated or anything like that. Give it a nice mix. And in this case, we'll just be spreading it on the bread before we get our sandwiches together. So you can make this really quick and just kind of set it aside and not have to worry about that until it's time to make the sandwich. So the next step comes the bacon. While I allow the chicken to sit for a while, that's going to be sitting for about 15 minutes, as I said before. So I went on ahead and decided to prep the bacon. I bought really thick cut bacon this time around, because when you're making a sandwich or you're putting bacon on a sandwich, especially if you're doing like a BLT or something, you definitely want very thick bacon. You don't want any of that thin, flimsy stuff. So I like to bake mine, as opposed to cooking it in a skillet or the air fryer or what have you. So that's the way I did it here. I didn't provide any footage of that, unfortunately. But to be honest, if you guys really want to see a video on me baking bacon, like on how to do that in the way that I do it and the way that it turns out, and the reason I prefer to do it that way, I can make a video for that. So just ask and thou shalt receive. But there's no footage of that in this video. This is just me putting it in the pan, and you won't see it again until it goes on the sandwich, because yeah, I didn't record that portion. So bacon goes in the oven and we move on to the next step. And one of the final steps begins right before assembling the sandwich. Obviously you have to cook the chicken. Now this chicken has been sitting for 15 minutes. You'll see it, as I said, you'll see the moisture kind of suck up into the flour, and it'll get like a pasty consistency. That is when you toss it in your last bit of flour, and then you go ahead and fry it. And like I said, the consistency you'll get for your chicken will be really good, and it'll turn out almost restaurant style, kind of the way you get it there, or the way you buy them frozen. You ever wonder how the crust on it gets like really thick as they do? I think that might be one of the secrets, or at least that's what I've come to the conclusion of. So you want to obviously fry your chicken. You don't want to like turn it on high and just like blast it, you know. You want to give it a chance for it to brown thoroughly and cook on the inside. And you want to make sure that it stays juicy, so you don't want to cook it too fast. Nice and well, not nice and slow, but probably medium high. To make sure that it cooks through, and you should end up with some really juicy chicken breasts, which is what I used this time around, and it turned out really good, actually. Lastly, it's time to get the sandwich together. I'm making squishies right now. She doesn't like a lot of extra stuff on there, literally meat and cheese. So here's hers that I made for her. It's bacon, cheese, the chicken, and a little bit of sauce on it. She doesn't like a lot of sauce either, so I went on ahead and got hers out of the way first. But right after that, I decided to make mine, and I like a good amount of sauce. So you put both sauce on the bottom and the top patty, because why would you not do that? And just kind of assemble your sandwich. It doesn't really matter what order you put it in, but I did chicken, cheese, bacon, and then the lettuce and tomato. However you want to do it, it's like I said, it's completely up to you. There's no real guidelines to this, because it's all going in the same place. So maybe some people follow a strict guideline, but not me. My tomato was kind of thick cut, a little more thick cut than I usually like them. But you know what? I haven't eaten tomatoes in this form in quite a while without like cooking it or doing something with it. So it was a nice touch. Kind of reminded me of more of a restaurant style sandwich, which really baffled me. Like, that was the most shocking part about this sandwich altogether, was the fact that it reminded me so much of like Chick-fil-A that I was actually kind of shocked about it. It was really good. I wish when I took the picture of this that I would have got more of the sauce. I didn't really get much of the sauce when I took the photo, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And there it is, guys, the money shot. Now, like I said, I was very proud of this sandwich. It looks like it belongs on a menu somewhere, man. If I ever get a food truck, definitely will be selling these. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Me and Squishy thoroughly enjoyed these sandwiches, and I do plan on making more in the future for sure. Chicken bacon ranch, guys, you can't beat it. It's definitely good, and like I said, why go to a restaurant when you could just make it here? Just make it at home, guys. You never know. It turned out much better. It was a much better experience, in my opinion. So why not give it a shot? Last thing I want to mention before I head out, guys, I want to let you know that Squishy is approximately 6 or 7 days away from having the baby. Baby's coming really soon. So I do appreciate all of the support that I've been getting from you guys, all the help and everything. But if you could keep sharing the video, make sure that these videos get out there, share it with as many people and as many food lovers as you know, that would be super helpful. There's also donation links down below. You can either do Streamlabs or PayPal, and that stuff helps me out a lot. There's a baby registry over on Amazon that you guys can check out. Most of the stuff is already kind of bought up, but there is a diaper fund button over there where you can send basically Amazon credit for us to be able to buy diapers and stuff for the baby. Any help you guys can offer is greatly appreciated. We're excited and getting impatient for this baby. So as I said, guys, all your support would be super useful. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.